Hey, thank y'all and welcome back to the show. And oh, we are so excited to have a special guest here today who gave it all. Let's give a big welcome to Henrietta straight from the hen house. Henrietta, we thank you so much for being here, but I see you are without feathers. You're more dressed for summer, and here it is in January. Well, Henrietta, I have a question, and it is quite personal. But it's been all over the media, and it's true, I know, that you and Colonel Sanders have had this big feud going on forever. But he has been quoted saying, "You are finger-licking good." Do you have a response for that? Oh, pardon me. I can see that is a sensitive subject it is, but we won't talk about that anymore. But I do like to ask all my guests, who is your celebrity crush on? I can see that. Foghorn, he works out quite a bit. I think he probably has good thighs. Well, Henrietta, I think we should probably go ahead and just cut this short because you're looking a little cold. I see you got chill bumps. But we have the perfect way to warm her up. Smoked and deep fried chicken. Why, do you ask yourself, are we doing both? To get the ultimate piece of fried chicken, the smoke flavor, the crispiness of the frying. But let me tell you, when you're working with something, especially chicken, and you're talking about deep frying, what do you need? A great thermometer. I mean, you got to check the chicken temp, but also the oil temp. And again, I'd like to thank the folks at Chef's Temp for sponsoring this video, but we're talking about smoked and deep fried chicken, and I need to get it on. The pups are hungry. Well, as y'all have probably seen on the news way too many times around Thanksgiving or Christmas, somebody be deep frying a turkey or something like that, and they didn't know how much oil they put in there, and when they dropped the fowl down in there, what happened? Big fire. Well, I learned a long time ago, I just like to put whatever I'm cooking in there, and I just fill it up with water to know how much I'm going to need to cover everything, and you can see that's about right. Now, how are we going to mark that? Well, if old Kent just had a carpenter's pencil, we could mark it on the side of that cast iron because we ain't going to taste this. So I'm just going to mark that right there. Take our fowl out of there, dump the water out. Make sure that you dry this pot or whatever you're cooking with really well because you know oil and water don't mix. Well, our bird has a bath, and we need to get him dried off, we do, because we want to make sure he is dried really well. And let me get some more.
And what kind of bird are you using? Because this isn't a traditional chicken.
Well, this is a traditional little chicken. It's called a Cornish game hen. If I was fixing these for me and Shan, I would probably just fix one of them because it's going to make 2 servings. Time you just cut right down the breastbone. But make sure that chicken is dried. You can do this with a whole chicken. Just make sure that you do that trick there to make sure that you have enough oil that you're not going to run it over when you drop your fowl down in there. Our bird is dry, and before we grease the bird, we're going to put us some gloves on. If I can get them on. This is always some of the worst part for me, Big, is I don't know if they don't work well in cold weather, but it's nothing worse than greasy hands and greasy chicken. So, get you some avocado oil, olive oil. We just want to give it a coating, something that seasoning will adhere to. We're going to use some of our rib rub and some of our original seasoning with a little smoked paprika. I just like to grab the little bird right here, and we're going to make sure that we season it really well. And while you're doing this, I hope that you have your smoker or your grill going. And if you got it on the grill, you're going to be cooking on indirect heat. Give it a little shake, turn it over here, and let's get the rest of it on there. Be sure and get under them underarms. And right at the end, if there's any seasoning left, we're going to put us some right down in here. Well, we have old Henrietta seasoned up really well, we do, and I'm going to meet y'all over here at the Hasty Bake Roughneck Smoker. Got the Roughneck Smoker over here. We have partnered up with Hasty Bake. These are some great little smokers they are. Got her going to run about 250 along in there, 265, pretty close to that. So make sure you've got it preheated there and started. The wood I'm using today is from Smoky Woods, and I am using cherry because I really think you need to pair fowl with a fruit wood, and I really love their cherry wood. Every once in a while I'll mix a little oak in it with it, but you can use apple, cherry, but make sure you use a good fruit wood. When I first put wood in a smoker like this or something, I like to leave that door open enough you can see that we're getting some combustion there, getting some flame, and that's what we're after. I'm gonna let that burn a minute before I ever choke it down because I wanna make sure that that gets started. Let's go ahead and get these girls over here and get them to cooking. So now you could put these like so, get them to where they'll stand up and cook them this way. And we're gonna try that to see and make sure don't nobody fall over. So if you need to put one in a different pose to where it's more like...
Could you do like running man pose?
Well, I'm gonna be resting pose right here.
Okay, like a pensive?
Yes. See, this one here done got tired and took a nap. So, go ahead and go what? Tell them night-night because they're gonna take a smoke bath. We're gonna cook them here probably 45 minutes to an hour at about 250. We wanna try to get that internal temp up to about 145, 50 along in there. Then it's time to make the deep frying magic happen. Well, the bird is smoking right along. We're at about 143 over, so let's go ahead and get our wet and dry mixed together. For the wet, remember, Henrietta gave it all, but she did give one egg before she quit us. So we're gonna go ahead and just crack that cackleberry right down in there. About 2 cups of buttermilk. Now, if you're looking for another fried chicken video, we have one that we did where we cut a whole chicken up. It'll show you how really, if you want to cut a chicken up and you don't know how, go back and watch that video. You'll be as good as any butcher in the world. To that, I like to add some black pepper. So we have that mixed up well, and that looks like white gravy. I can nearly eat that, Shane.
I don't know if people can hear it, but it's raining pretty heavily.
Yes, it is nice. It is good to be wet. It has been a cold, wet day, it has. We're gonna start with some all-purpose flour. How much? I would say about that much. We're gonna add some baking powder. And you think, we're making biscuits? No, baking powder is gonna help that crust pop just a little, but also something that really makes batter and crust stick well to whatever you're doing is cornstarch. Let's just go ahead and put some smoked paprika in there because I really like smoked paprika. Ground mustard is really a great recipe when you're frying chicken to give it that really traditional Old South flavor that I think is what fried chicken needs. We'll just mix that by hand right quick. It's time to check on the bird and see what the temp is. Got the chef's temp ready to go. We need to see what our temperature is because we really need to be close to about 150 before we get them chickens in the deep fryer. Oh, our little birds have rolled over. They have.
Uh-oh, did they get tired?
They got tired, they did. Try not to hit a bone and get in here. 146, 7, so we're close enough. So let's get our little birds over there and try to keep them above beagle height. Ooh, that one like to fell apart. It did, grabbing that leg. You can see them are tender. And you need to let them cool off just a little so you'll be able to handle them in here. Don't think you could just go ahead and go roll them around and put them in here. You'll burn your little fingers. Now would be a good time to get your oil ready in your deep fryer. Run a temperature of 350 degrees. Ready to go? We are. Buttermilk bath first. You can do it any way you want. We just need to make sure that everybody is coated well. Whoo, Meiji, I'm getting hungry. What about you? Cold? You're shivering. And what happens next? Into the dry or the dredge. Make sure you get it coated really well because we want that crispy crust. Shake off any excess that you might have. Now, one of the main things that I have learned in frying chicken from my grandmother and my mother, when you get this chicken all through the wet and dredge through the flour, we're gonna let them set over here to where that really adheres better to it. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna double dip this chicken to see if there's difference in one from the other.
Oh, because see, usually you do a double baptize.
Yeah, but I've never done it on a smoked and then fried. So we're gonna see what happens here. So here we go. Over here in the dry the first time. Shake off the excess. Double baptized we are. Back in here one more time.
Would that have been easier in a bowl?
It might have been, but this is the way that I have seen it done years back. So that's the way old Kent's gonna do. Back over here one more time. I need to also tell you too, if you're looking for a really good crispy chicken sandwich, Be sure and check that video out because that was the crunch heard around the world on that video. Now I want you to tell, you can sort of tell the difference there by looking who's got the most stuff to them right there. We're going to let them set for 5 minutes and then we're going to hit the deep fry. We are running that oil at 350 degrees. I checked her with the chef's temp, I did. Remember, it's so important to have one of these to check the internal temperature of your chicken, but also your deep fry oil. Now, if we was cooking like cold chicken, I'd heat that oil to about 370 before I ever placed them cold pieces of chicken in there. But this come off the smoker, we're gonna put what? The one that is single baptized in there first, and we're just gonna lay them down in there oh so gingerly. Now, you can see that oil is covered in plumb up. It ain't gonna take long to get us that good golden brown crust that we want, but we're gonna roll him around, we are here in a minute, just to make sure that everybody's frying really well. I'm not gonna crowd the pot because when we checked our oil, the level, we didn't have 2 chickens in there, so we're gonna fry one at a time. I ain't gonna take them long. Get the mashed potatoes ready because we are fitting to have Sunday dinner. You can see the crust difference here from, did y'all hear that? That is crispy. Over here is not as crispy because it wasn't double dipped. Tell you what, I'm just gonna pull this leg right here off and pull it right off the bone, like that right there. And then I am gonna dive right into this piece right here. You get that crust right off the bat that you think, this is fried chicken, but as you sink on into that meat and it's oh so tender, you get that smoky flavor that the cherry wood brings about. Let's take a leg off a single chicken here and try this little crust.
You can tell for sure, like, the crust is totally different.
It is totally different on there. It's good. The flavor is great, but you don't get that crunch you get from double baptizing. And while I've got this piece here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull some of this off and let it be cooling for my loyal subjects here who have worked hard and braved the elements they have. Now, you know, we consider all of y'all family, and y'all have gathered around the table many times and watched our videos and cooked our recipes, and we are so proud. But as family, we are asking you for a very special blessing. We've had someone that's been with us for 15 years that had some trouble this last week. We think he might have had a stroke, and that is the big. He is over here. He has got a lot better, he got his head cocked to one side, he gets a little wobbly. Let's pray for a pup because he has probably got more fans than me and Shan do, and we are so proud to have them all. You know that you're very special. Look out, Duker, because he's gonna eat first. There you go, my friend. Thank you so much for always being here. The Duker, where is the mage? We got a Lulu somewhere? Hey, Cletus, are you going to participate? Come on. It's time to eat some chicken. It's okay. I can't reach no further. Come on, Cletus. There we go. I do have another tip for you. Remember when you take that chicken out of that deep fryer and set him on that wire rack, be sure and check that temp one more time with that chef temp. It's going to do you right. You're looking for that what? Magical temperature of 165 degrees on poultry you are. So get it to there, let it cool a minute, and let everybody gather around the table and enjoy. Again, a shout out and a big thank you to the folks at Chef Temp for sponsoring this video. And they, just for our fans, have got a promo code down there below to where you can get a discount on that. Be sure and check it out. But it is with great pride, honor, and privilege that I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag flying. The rest of you get on in here because me and the pups is hungry. God bless you all, and I'll see you down the smoked deep fried chicken tray. It's nearly as bad as saran wrap in the wind, Shen. But to that chicken that is dried off, make sure you ain't got no wrinkles in his skirt nowhere. Go ahead and pull his dress back up there, or hers. What pose is that right there? Get that chicken soon.
Is it like a
The pigeon.
Do we have something for it to sit on? Oh, yeah. is like the stupidest setup we've ever done.
It is pretty dorky.
Oh my gosh! What's that?
Is it cute?
This is so dumb. She even looks like she's like.
Leaning on her thigh there.
I do this all the time. Oh, wait.